so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. In the end, it doesn't even matter. Cards all folding, the saints we see are all made of gold. When your dreams all fail and the ones we hail are the worst of all, and the bloods run stale. Don't wanna let you down, but I am hellbound. Oh, this is all for you. Don't wanna hide the truth. No matter what we greed, we still are made of greed. This is my kingdom come. This is my kingdom come. It's where my demons hide. It's where my demons hide. Don't get too close. Get stuck inside. It's where my demons hide. It's where my demons all the sinners crawl, so they dug your grave in the masquerade. Will come calling out at the mess you made. Don't wanna let you down, but I am hellbound. Oh, this is all for you. Don't wanna hide the truth. No matter what we greed, we still are made of greed. This is my kingdom come. This is my kingdom come. When you feel my heat, look into my eyes. It's
Okay, so you guys basically just saw my leg workout for week 1 of my new program. I'm running for hypertrophy again. The difference between this phase and the last phase is primarily that I'm doing a lot higher volumes on my legs, quadriceps in particular, just because that's a weak point of mine. And my coach deemed it appropriate for me to have a specialization block. So that's what I'm doing. Playing around with higher volumes with just, and how I'm doing that is I'm kind of backing off on how much compound volume I'm doing, the relative intensities of that. And then also just focusing on just super strict technique to really just grow my quads as much as I possibly can, while minimizing, you know, any excess fatigue that could be generated as a result of me going back to poor habits such as relying on my back more when I'm squatting. So really focusing on keeping the chest high and whatnot. I've definitely had to back off my ego because it's just, I cannot lift as much weight with this type of squatting, but I don't care because I know what my goal is, I know where I'm headed. I know that when I go into strength, this will benefit me more. This is an example of me just keeping the goal the goal. But yeah, anyways, I had to go to the store to grab a few groceries. Why not just like some eggs and Greek yogurt. Why is it in my gym bag? Because it is, but yeah, like that's what I had. But yeah, just a few updates with me, just in general. So I just finished finals. I'm freaking exhausted. This has been a hard semester. Like every single semester, just is like it just gets harder and harder and harder because I'm deeper on in my program. And then with the whole coronavirus thing coming into play, it got even harder because of the whole switch. Just stress was insane. Had to completely change how I studied. Just difficult semester, but got through. Really good grades as usual, so yay. Yeah, that's the update. Feeling good. I have one more day of training tomorrow for my first week, so I have my back set session, and I'll probably film that for you guys. What I think is interesting of it, and yeah, just quiet work and trying to kind of relax. So I don't really get breaks, so trying to relax, which is it's oddly hard for me to do, but yeah, that's the update. But also, just so you guys know, I got a ton of new protein bars from my protein bar sponsor, Built Bar. They are based out here in Utah, and these are the protein bars I have every single day. I usually have like 1 or 2. They're really good. So if you guys are interested in that, saving money, this is something that's a part of my diet. It's quick, it's easy, it tastes good. The macros are really good on each bar. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to swipe up, or not swipe up, this is an Instagram. Make sure to click the link down below, use my code to save some money. I also got some new pre-workout from Staunch, so happy about that. Got Fueled the Crackhead. And same story, use my code, and I will give you a kiss. So Jacob, yeah. You want to know, what's your quarantine routine?
We'll wake up every morning at 8, have breakfast.
What do you eat for breakfast?
Cereal.
What type of cereal?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch or Reese's Puffs.
How many bowls?
1 to 2. Usually only 1. Only when I'm hungry, I eat 2.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I do some schoolwork. On A days I do A, and then B days I do B. And then after that, I play video games, or I shoot my bow. And I eat, and then repeat. And after that, just pretty much the same thing. Quarantine, just video games and shoot bow, pretty much. And text a lot of friends. That's it. It's pretty chill.
What do you think of the coronavirus?
It sucks, but it is what it is. You can't stop it until everybody stops going outside.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No.
It's complicated.
It's complicated.
Brutal.
Yeah.
How would Your game of choice, Dark Souls?
Yep. Dark Souls.
Didn't you just beat it?
I did, but there's new games. So basically, once you beat the game, you can go again with the same gear that you just barely used.
So you're just doing it again because there's nothing better to do.
It's harder. The characters you play as, you still do the same amount of damage and you just have the same amount of health. You have the same character and everything, but you just the characters get harder and you get more souls, and that's pretty much Dark Souls. I just really beat Dancer of the Boreal Valley, so.
Yeah, so if you guys have never played Dark Souls, you don't know the vibes. It's a hard game.
Oh, it's hard.
Like,
I'm gonna go fight tonight, right?
It's very, very hard. Like, you get like it's not like other games where it's just like you can just keep punching them.
Oh no!
It's just
if you were too greedy, then you'll die within 2 seconds, bro.
Yeah, you gotta respect the game.
Like
case in point, right here. It's a fun game, but it's just like, yeah.
This is just a normal character.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. It's kind of weird being able to relax a little bit.
Yeah. Before you go.
Yeah, it's nice. So apparently Voss is going to open up soon.
I heard that.
That's what they said. Yeah, but they're going to do like I've been talking to like some of my friends who work there, and they're saying that they're going to do like some strict social distancing guidelines. Like they were considering having like check-ins. So like you have like having occupation capacity. So like imagine having to wait in lines for the gym. It's probably going to happen.
I think it's going to happen.
Yeah. But
I think everything's going to be definitely. They're talking about restaurants opening,
Smith's hasn't been that way yet,
but
they have had. They do have lines outside the grocery store at Smith's for standing 6 feet apart. I don't know if that's for in the morning when you have like the elderly people who are lining up to get in there. What is it, 8 to 9 or 7 to 8, something like that?
7, 8, yeah. It's just a weird time. Sydney,
Yes.
are you an artist?
Yes, ma'am. I'm painting a line right now. It's supposed to turn out like that.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Already. So did you draw that on your own, or did you just use a stencil?
I drew it on my own.
Drew on your own? Mm-hmm. How long did it take you to really get that good?
Like an hour and a half.
No, I mean like long term. Like how did you get better at drawing?
Well, I started in 7th grade, and now I'm in 10th grade, so I've been working on it for 4 years, but I've really practiced a lot this year, because like it's helped me like overcome like trauma and stuff, because like I can express my emotions through it.
Yeah. That's why I lift weights too.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty cool stuff. It's
Yes,
Ethan
ma'am.
calling.
Yeah. Hola. You're good. You're good.
Like my whole thing with like just like going back to judging by sticking points, just because like you can have every other part of the lift look good, but that weakness is what will make or break your lift.
Yeah, well,
because I've had so many deadlifts off the floor with my sumo, which is kind of weird, but it's because I just overcompensate with my back at that point, and it's just all pure muscle. Then I kind of just get right to below knee, and then because I'm rounded over, I'm in that spot, I can't get it out. But yeah, dude, I changed like my squat up for hypertrophy, right?
Right, you told me about that.
It's so weird because like you know that feeling of on like a leg press where it's just like you get kind of shaky.
Yeah.
Like, or like that little shake at like the bottom of your knees. Your kind of do
I
like
kind of want to go in, yeah.
that. Like that's what happens to me. Like I have one more like that. I have one more rep and that's it. Like, but it's so strange because like I can like feel like it's like I tried. I was like, how much easier is it if I actually use my back? And I was like squatting like how I normally would for powerlifting. And I'm like, holy crap, it makes a huge difference. But like because I'm just staying so upright and like just trying to just make it all quads because I don't want to like train anything else. Like it is what it is. But
Yeah, I remember when I was training at Utah Iron, one of the coaches there, I got a free squat session, like help, like he had like a window open. He said like I'll help out someone for free if you show up at this time. I showed up because I was wanting to help them on squat. And I remember I really like I didn't know anything about squat. I never really do research. I always thought that you were supposed to squat like pretty upright, you know. And I didn't. And he told me about how it's like no, you're supposed to be hunched forward because it's supposed to be basically like not hunched forward necessarily, but you need to be. It's the same thing as a deadlift where you want it to be a straight bar path up. And when you're leaning, you're staying straight up, you know, that your center of gravity is off and everything, you know.
well, it has to do a lot with limb segment lengths because there are some squatters like the Chinese.
Oh yeah,
that have like these super short femurs and like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
But like if you're like us and you have like super long legs and you have a short torso and you're trying to like stay upright, it's like the almost mechanically just have.
Yeah, but what you'll see though is like I said, the thing is it's still straight bar path,
Sure.
just because they're different builds. But yeah, the Chinese and the Asians in general have short femurs compared to other races.
Yeah.
People don't want to talk about that sort of stuff, but like
Well, it's the same thing with how black people have longer Achilles tendons.
yeah, exactly. Different people have different ethnicities have different genetic features,
White people,
different physical features.
white people generally are not as muscular as.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. The muscular, aesthetically, you know, having much muscle, but in terms of strength, they can be up there just as much. You know,
Well, yeah, it's
that's the thing. It's a
It's,
what would you call it? Type
really-
1 versus Type 2 muscle fibers? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, so type 2 muscle fibers are the ones that hypertrophy most.
Yeah.
You can have, and like you generally typically have like a little bit more in men. Like it's like 55, 45 in men, and flip the script for women. Women have a little bit more slow twitch.
Yeah.
Than fast, which is why they can actually run for longer, do that type of stuff, and better. Like, dude, I have some female clients who like I can just give them all the volume, and they just bounce back. I'm like, I would die. But girls are weird, like they can just do that. But yeah, I do believe that there is a little bit of a difference in muscle fiber type in races.
I believe so.
I'm not sure. I think that the biggest thing is just the nutrition. I think that's the biggest thing.
I agree.
Because you look at the Vikings, it was like protein. They're big people. And like now it's like when like westernized society, we have this abundance of food because of capitalism. You know, and people eat a lot, like eating meats and stuff like that, and like people just get bigger. Like they can grow better nutrition helps facilitate growth. And you look at these Asian countries historically were always poor, and
Yeah.
it's like rice-based carbohydrates.
Well, 100% it's genetic, because the thing is, like, I've known a lot of people that are, like, for example, foreign exchange students, you know, and a good way to example this is, like, you got people that come, like, from Africa, like, you got people that come from Eastern Africa, like Ethiopia, or something like that. Usually they're really tall and thin, very thin, very, like, sinew-like built, very stringy and very lean. And they come out here that, you know, if you're using the argument that it's all about nutrition and that sort of stuff, which a lot of it is, but in that case, they come out here and say they weren't getting great food over there. You come over here, they have all the food and access in the world, you know, but their body type still stays the same for the most part. And you compare that to some people, you get what I'm saying is it's not just 100%.
No, because
you can't throw genetics and racial physiology out the
environmental
window.
factors and genetic factors play a role, because there are some people that have more of a predisposition to eat more food.
Yeah, and another thing is, like, if you look at the sports, the strength sports, especially something like strongman, why is it that it's all dominated by Northern European? You know,
If you look at the
I think it's
history of their
genetics.
culture, how they were, their upbringing, like history of people is just huge.
and some people say it's because the sport isn't as widespread in other parts of the world. But
yeah, but like, dude, the population of Norway is like what the population of Washington State.
oh no, it's way higher than Washington
Okay,
State.
well, like,
Maybe if you use the example of Iceland, but no, Norway has plenty of people.
Okay, so Iceland's sort of where Thor is.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is Iceland is a big, like the strongman community is really big in Iceland because I don't know the population. I'm sure there's still tons of people, but comparatively to other countries in Europe, it's definitely much smaller.
Yeah.
But if you look at their history, same thing with Scotland. If you look at the history, you know, that's where all these the stone strength feats and strongmen come from. Iceland and Scotland, and it's because back in the day when one of the things the Vikings would do is you can watch a documentary by Rogan actually in Iceland. What they do is they see who would go out to sea, you know, and row the boats, you know, if they have the strength for it and that sort of stuff. You gotta have the strength and endurance to do that all day, you know, fishing and that sort of stuff. So they'd have stones of different size to see who could pick it up. They had like half strength stone that weighed like this much. Then they had medium strength stone, and then they had full strength, which is like the biggest stone. And if you look at the biggest stone, you know, you obviously prove your strength. But and then
there's some cultural significance with that, like was basically like the male dominance hierarchy was kind of determined.
Yeah, and then I remember, I think it was in the 15th century. I think it was King Malcolm, who was a Scottish guy, Scottish king, and he picked his bodyguards by who could pick up the greatest stones. That was the determining factor. Who was the strongest amongst them all? Who could pick up the heaviest rock?
It's really, you know, and it's, you know, it's interesting because you kind of think about like the past and whatnot, like with the whole history, like people just picking things up and putting them back down. People have always been fascinated by picking up big awkward objects and like even thinking back to like the Romans too, like with their gymnasiums.
Yeah.
Like, and you can look back at this because my classical civilization teacher was like she was really actually into that type of stuff. She said that like they didn't really have like exercise science and stuff like that, obviously, but like they knew that like they placed a huge emphasis with their warriors and with like everybody on like physical development and like if you were a commoner, the more jacked you were, like the more likely you were to like actually be able to like move up
in society. Yeah.
And if you were a great warrior, that's your ticket.
Yep, it's kind of like the same thing with athletes nowadays.
Same thing.
You know, people are trying.
It's like if you're a politician, nobody cares as long as you're smart. Like it doesn't matter how if you're how you look.
You see a lot of people. That's kind of their ticket to a better life is through sports. That's a lot of people chase that route. You know, but that's one of the things I really like about strongman is just the odd feats of strength. Dude, I really like it when they incorporate history into the events.
Yeah. Like that's a whole thing that just makes it so much more fun to watch, and like that's why my coach wanted to do it because he was like, "This looks really fun." And he was saying like it was really fun.
Because squat, bench, deadlift, that's cool, that's great, but like when
it's boring. It doesn't seem as fun. Like snatch, clean, and jerk.
It's why you see a lot of powerlifters I've talked to that turn into strongman. I ask them why they've done it. It's because they say it's because it's way more fun, And I think
you have to train multiple qualities. You're not just doing that, dude. Like I'm not gonna lie, it does get kind of boring.
But another thing I think about, I actually talked to a world strongest woman athlete, and
isn't she? I know one of the best strongmen. Like he follows you jump iron. Like isn't like his wife or something?
No, that's Martine Lises. I don't personally really know her. I just spoke to her a few times, but she was telling me about how she thinks, in her opinion, she respects powerlifters and other different strength sports, but in her opinion, strongman is the most difficult sport, just because to be a good strongman, you have to master, or strongman, you have to master all sorts of different lifts. With deadlifting and powerlifting, people like to use the example of, oh, well, you can't use straps, there's no hitching, it's a really clean form. Yeah, but in strongman, you got to learn how to deadlift from 18 inches, you got to learn how to deadlift from 9 inches, you got to learn how to deadlift with an axle, you got to learn how to deadlift like a long bar, you got all sorts of different implements that really change up the game for everybody.
There's that endurance component.
Exactly.
Because like a lot of the times it's not, it's not like powerlifting, it's just like lift up the most amount of weight. It's like for reps.
Yeah, so I imagine peaking for a strongman competition would be a lot more difficult than powerlifting, because
the whole fatigue management principle. Like, dude, if you're a bodybuilder or a powerlifter and you're struggling with fatigue, like you're just I don't know what to tell you. Like, you need a better program. You need to actually learn stuff, because you think about all these other athletes who are better, strongman. They have to manage so much to it. Like with powerlifting, there's not a cardiorespiratory component to it, really. You're doing one rep.
Yeah.
With bodybuilding, what it's just you're just pumping up your muscles, say like, whereas with strongman, like what you said.
I just don't understand how people find bodybuilding entertaining.
I think that it's mostly, I don't find it entertaining. I find it inspiring.
I follow it, for that reason exactly. But I'll never I'll watch a strongman competition. I'll watch a powerlifting meet.
Oh no, dude!
I'll never watch a bodybuilding
I respect it and I have seen it, but dude, I couldn't imagine just going there and being like, this is really cool.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea.
I'll kind of watch the Mr. Olympia, and it's kind of cool because it's like, okay, these are the best of the best, but it's also just dude, I thoroughly believe this. The process of bodybuilding is an athletic endeavor. The whole, because there's so much discipline with it.
Oh yeah, I respect
on
it tremendously.
It's a pageant. It is not a sport.
That's what it is. It really is.
It is literally you're just peacocking.
It's the opinion of who looks better than who. It's kind of like what Eddie, remember in his documentary, the strongman documentary, I already talked about it. It's like with strength sports, it's cut and dry. I did. In bodybuilding, you can say, I think this person looks better than that person, Well, that's your opinion. Maybe I think this person looks better than that person, But then, in the strength sports, saying strongman, you're doing something for reps, it's like, I do 7 reps, he did 6. Oh, well, I think I'm stronger. No, you don't. I lifted more weight than you,
Well, and that's why I'm just I was really thinking about it, and I was like, do I want to do bodybuilding? It's like, it's crossed my mind.
Right.
But I'm like, I just want to look good for me.
And you fall in love with the progress of lifting heavy things. It's a lot. I feel like it's a lot more rewarding because you can see the
on
success in front of you.
When I post a picture of my physique, it gets so much more engagement. When I posted PR, I'm like, I did that.
Yeah.
My body did that.
And you can track the progress. I feel like that much more easy.
It's objective.
Yeah.
Because dude, once you get past year 1, it's just I hope this is working.
I always get scared once I get past when I finally get a PR, or something like that. I remember when I hit 265 on shoulder press, stripped and everything. I was really happy about it, and I was like, holy crap, 265. It's only 10 pounds away from 275. But 275 sounds like so much more.
It becomes an RPG.
It's a mental game.
It becomes an RPG, and the whole a game basically. But dude, I will. You probably brought the psychological aspect of it, dude. Having to walk up to a bar when it's heavy weight, and especially if you've never lifted it before, the psychological element of that is huge.
Oh yeah.
Steffi Cohen made the best advice of I've ever heard about attempting lifts. If you don't 100% believe you can do it, she's like, it's okay to be scared.
If you don't believe it,
if you don't believe you can lift that weight, you have zero business getting on that platform.
Yeah, that's something I struggle with. When I was younger in high school, I felt like I could live with that ferocity and that intent. I could just do whatever I want. I could get it that way up. But I feel like just because now that I'm older, I'm fatigued. I'm working 12 hours a day consistently.
Yeah.
And obviously with this whole virus thing, I'm not able to train. My weight fluctuates a significant amount because I'm just not taking it seriously. For example, August of last year, I was 315 pounds. I'm 250 right now. I didn't lose that weight on purpose. Just kind of just stopped lifting. It just happened,
Yeah, it happens. Anyways.
Life's interesting. Where that takes you on.